You know coming in hot helps. It's a big focus when you're able to come through, have that out of the first game, come into the next one. You've got that momentum on your side. That's going to be important.
Exactly. And well, we're about to get underway with game number 1 here between Method and Triple Trouble. A couple of the people on the desks. Show match of the day for a lot of us, and now we get to see it unfold as it will start very quickly for Triple Trouble, and Burrito B already having to make a bit of an awkward touch. Leading pass upfield and just off of the nose. Triple Trouble will hang on. Roniki up early. Easy ball for Method here, and just over the top of one player and now into the orange corner. Hard pass in the midfield. Roniki's got to really go get this one. Rix hasn't beat. Should be off that top corner, straight down. Tough read, and him there to make a nice save.
It was a good answer on defense. The important part of watching that play is being able to anticipate how to close it out of the box quickly, but not push it back into danger. A good job here so far from Triple Trouble, considering all the pressure we've seen from the midfield so far.
Chacaron figuring out, will give space to Rix, and he finds the spot behind the defense, and the first one going to be on the board for Method.
Expecting Rix to play it back into center for a second pass instead of going for the shot here was a bit of a mistake, but a great time to position yourself for that one. Rix Ronde has got exactly what you need when you want to have that man come in for the quick touch.
Very nice start for Method here. Again, curious to see if Triple Trouble is able to come out and keep up a lot of that offensive pressure they were able to generate in their first series versus Juicy Kids. And currently it will be, again, Rix Ronde blasts one off the back wall. He thought about it. Burrito B was thinking about it there and just said, you know what, it's not worth it. We'll let Chacaron take this one. Free ball for Andom. Off the back wall, Chacaron missed a big clear. Roniki caught too far forward, though. Definitely not expecting the missed touch, and an unfortunate missed opportunity there for Triple Trouble.
For the defense to pick up on a short mistake like that and come in for the challenge, it's going to be important. They've got to make sure they keep those up, but it's also big for Chacaron to get those touches out to the wing because they could potentially move that into a counter play. Without that, they're going to be losing a little bit of ground here.
Touch off the back wall, and Roniki will not be able to get it safely over to his teammate. Quickly across goal mouth, and here comes Rix Ronde to try and keep the pressure up. Hard touch off the ceiling, and now it's Burrito B in charge of keeping the offensive running. Here's Chacaron left side, and it will be tapped to safety by Roniki. Triple Trouble able to hang on so far, but a couple of chances here for Method. As this one's towards the top of the box now for Andom. Back wall and pushed out by Burrito B. Andom's a little bit late. Touch to Rix, and that will be Tadpole clearing this one away. Pass to nobody except Chacaron. He wants the left post, and I don't even think, even if he was fast enough, I think Roniki still had that angle covered.
It's tough, and Shaq wanted that one on target. You know, he was playing it close. If he could have at least gotten it off the crossbar, he would have had a bigger chance at coming in for a second one to clean it up. But real close play, again, they've got a lot forward in the pressure building. Method is getting a lot of ground here if they can keep this going.
Burrito B just kind of gave up ground there in the midfield. Maybe he needed that boost as we did see him swing out and grab that midfield one. And now it's a chance here for Triple Trouble. Roniki just coasts on by the ball, and Method is sort of just tongue-tied with each other right now as they're like, we need to get this ball away. And thankfully, they were able to sort things out there in the midfield line, and they've pushed it all the way over to the orange half, and a nice bump from the top of the box going to force Rix away from the play. Pass off the back wall. Here comes Andom, and Burrito B just out of reach of him. He's going upfield for the pass from Chacaron, and pounced off the corner. Unfortunate hop, goes straight up instead of out, and it will be pushed aside by Tadpole. Rix on the dribble now over the top of two, and it's going to be one man left for Triple Trouble here, and he has done a stellar job of buying plenty of time for his team.
Triple is struggling to get back into the transition onto offense right now. Something that they're struggling with is when they get the initial stop on the 50-50, they're not able to push it forward, get that clear into significant space for them to make the attack on the goal.
Here comes Method. Burrito B to Rix, tap forward into space, and it should be a free ball for Triple Trouble. Roniki top of the box, Chacaron out to safety for Burrito B. Into the midfield, Tadpole tries to pick a spot, got the wheels on it though, was aiming for that top corner. It's an easy save for Chacaron as Rix looks for a clear. Approaching the final minute of gameplay, Triple Trouble struggling to get the offense really going. They've had a couple of, decent chances, but nothing crazy dangerous so far. Method has done a pretty excellent job of keeping things fairly locked down on their own half. As this one's off the back ball. Here's a big one for Tadpole, and he just misses the mark again. Tadpole, that's a second chance that he's had to find a spot in the net. Just couldn't do it.
Method's defensive rotations got really conservative after the first goal. They know that this series is going to be close and that every single one of these matches is going to count here.
This one off the side. And again, now it's just steal time, pass down. It'll be a real tough shot for Burrito B. Rix Ronde decides to keep the pressure up. Chacaron's going to not give a little bit of ground. He wants the really aggressive play. Surprising to see Method go for that pass to the back post, and that is going to be Aranaki. Last couple of chances here, perhaps, for Triple Trouble. But Burrito B not going to let anything go for free. So here come the final 10, and Rix Ronde gets a free touch on the side, and again, just stealing more time off this clock. Chacaron off the ceiling, and it will be Burrito B to blast it downfield. And this is all you've got now for Triple Trouble. Cannot touch the ground, and that clear is not going to help them, as it will be pushed into the ground. Method going to take game one. Not in the most convincing of manners, but still a pretty good show out of the midfield. Didn't let Triple Trouble get anything going on offense, really. Only 3 shots for them.
They really did contain Triple Trouble, and that's something that's going to work out really well for them, where they don't have to score a lot of shots on target. They just have to make sure that they can keep them from getting onto their side of the field. That worked out really well. Chacaron had a couple more chances where I felt like he could have potentially worked his way into getting a couple more goals to widen that margin. Missed a couple chances from what he was expecting, but overall, I think Method had the right idea coming into the second half of this match.
And you kind of touched on it a little bit. After they scored that first goal, they said, look, we don't have to make anything crazy happen. All we got to do is make sure we don't allow something silly. And again, it forces the offense of the other team, in this case Triple Trouble, to be very precise in their approach. And we saw later on in that game number 1, Tadpole had a couple of big chances, try to find the back of the net. He had to hit the ball in a perfect manner if you wanted to get that one through. And unfortunately, again, execution for some of these play-in teams coming through, just not quite there. Of course, Method's a play-in team as well.
Fair.
But they found the back of the net, so it doesn't count for them. But again, Chacaron, I was hoping for him to have a really big game 1. Kind of casual, cruising around in game 2, or game 2. We haven't even got to game 2. Cruising around in game 1 in the midfield, just saying, look, Burrito B. Rix, you guys do whatever you want.
He really did a great job supporting them, and that was going to be really important as he came into this one. Again, when you're not sure, you want to make sure that you've got a team that's going to be confident in this, and I think that Chacaron gave them the confidence they were looking for.
Yeah. So here's the second 5 minutes on the clock, and perhaps it'll be a different story here for Triple Trouble, as they will need to get more offense going. This is going to be off the side wall, as here comes Andom. Pass to the corner, and it will be off the mark. But still, Triple Trouble, looking to start things off quite well. Ronicky off the back wall, and Rix Ronde starting to get a little bit tied up here for Method, and that is a great challenge from Burrito B. Just got the meat of the car right behind the center of the ball. Very tough to get through.
They're already looking for chances, and you can see the aggressions coming out in a much bigger way here from Triple Trouble right now. Look at the way they're playing that half rotation from the midfield. That's looking good. They're going to get more opportunities like that if they can keep this play style up.
Well, Ronicky now trying to keep it going. This one around the back wall. Easy clear for Chacaron. Ceiling 2 up for Method. Can't afford to miss the clear, and Burrito B did get a good piece of it. Ronicky needed some boost, though, and will give some space to Method, and that might be all they need here as Rix Ronde now in charge. Gets it over under the orange side, and Method have found a chance to breathe. And that is going to be into the right-hand side. Andom finds the center of the net. 1-0. It's going to be Triple Trouble on the board.
This is a good play here to come through. The challenge came up as Andom can play that individual play he needs to get the quick flick. Burrito's stuck on the line, and that's a tough one here. And while they're an efficient team on defense, Method want to be that savvy offensive team, and they don't want to be stuck in risky situations like that.
Exactly, but here's a good chance to get it right back. Rix off the kickoff, and Ronicky has to dive in front of one coming out of the corner, as that's a sliding shot. Easily kept at bay by Andom. Weak clear from Triple Trouble. Again, a free ball for Method. Pass. And Ceiling, not the best continuation from Burrito B, but always tough to get those passes when you re-jump like that right on the money. Easy stop for Chacaron, trying to buy a little bit of time for them to get set on defense. Andom can pick a spot, post down, and into the back of the defense and into the net.
That looked like it might have gone backboard or even on the crossbar there, but
yeah,
great control to get that one just on the hitbox. Look at the play he gets through when he sees 2 defenders making the mistake on that one. He knows he can come in and make an efficient touch.
So again, Triple Trouble able to kind of bounce back a little bit after that game 1. They got a couple of good chances in game 1. Not as many as they'd like, but they've sort of taken those later chances and ran with it.
You know, it really did change their play style when they started moving into that really, really offensive momentum turn when they start only doing half rotations, you're seeing it a lot more. That pressure building is exactly what Method was doing in game 1, and they're able to replicate that now to their success.
Oh, but here's a big chance for Method. Pass onto the side wall. It's down in front of the top of the box, and Burrito B just makes sure to time the challenge properly. He knows he can't allow a breakaway, and that is going to be Rix Ronde coming across the top of the box. He fits it into the lower left-hand corner.
What a massive play. 2 defenders go in for the challenge, and Rix is left one-on-one with Andom, and a touch for the game. That feels so good.
It is a good one. Gets yourselves right back into the game. You've got just under 3 minutes, all the time you could ask for to find an equalizer if you're Method. And now Triple Trouble gonna have to try and take some of that power right back. Here's a good chance. Tadpole is up just a little bit too late. Burrito B in that long Batmobile beats him to the ball. Pass across. Chacaron's gonna have to read the clear from Ronicky. Tadpole, I really like the aggression. Knows he has to take that ball away from Chacaron. Unfortunately, just missed it. And again, Method has always done a fairly nice job. Whenever they get boxed in on defense, they've always been able to find a clear. So that's maybe the next thing for Triple Trouble to look for, I think.
They do have strong clears. You know, Triple Trouble did struggle with those out of game 1. Game 2, we're seeing a lot more of that, but they don't have to worry about it as often. This is getting close. A lot of chaos in the box here. This is going to work to the advantage of Method if they can take advantage of an open opportunity the defense will leave for them.
Ronicky going for a cheeky little touch in the demo in the net. Not going to happen, as this one's into the right-hand side. Burrito B to Rix, and again, I'm just above the wheels, looking for these very finesse touches up into the top right or lower-hand side of the net. Method continuing now, and it's Triple Trouble who needs to find a clear, as this one will be shut down out of the midfield. This should do it. Towards the net from Ronicky, easily stopped by Rix Ronde. Nice demo over on the Method side. Going to make it tough to clear with only 2 people in the rotation, and that's going to be off the mark. And here comes Rix Ronde, immediately met by Andom in that long Batmobile again. Into the corner, free ball for Rix Ronde, and out to the side. Chacaron's got Burrito B on the right, elects to go straight forward, and it is just a delay from Triple Trouble as they need time to get a little bit of boost. Going to steal away that Method corner. Again, make it tough for them to move out here. Can they really continue that attack? It's just they force a little bit of pressure over on the blue side. They steal away that boost, and then they just don't like to hang out on the offense. But now they've got 50 seconds to just hang on if you're Triple Trouble, and now if you're Method, the push has to come through.
Triple Trouble's doing a great job keeping the pressure on. They've got that firing squad approach right now on offense, and while they're playing a lot off the backboard, they're not really getting a lot of plays out of that for shots on goal at the moment.
Definitely need to get something as Rix Ronde on a dribble. He's got Ronicky in a one-on-one over the top and into the net. Make it tied up with 33. Rix Ronde does it himself.
That is a way to bring yourself back into the match like this. Rix goes up for the nice flick again. You can take that individual play on the one-on-ones, and you've got to force that defender to challenge you, in which you could take advantage of the right or the left at that point.
Very tough play to make, because you also have to decide. You're thinking they're stuck on the line, like, do I go challenge him? There's not much time on the clock. Do I let him come to me, or what do you do?
Split-second thought, right?
Exactly. As Tadpole makes a solid save, and now Method really getting some good chances here in the final 20 or so seconds. But a quick push over onto the blue half means Triple Trouble might be able to get this one in regulation. Can they hang on to the ball, though? They're through one in the midfield. You can't get it through Chacaron, but there's some help from Andom. It's going to roll around and out. A solid clear from Rix. I shouldn't say solid. He's trying to keep it close, as this will be tapped onto the Triple Trouble half, perhaps looking at overtime in game 2, and it will indeed touch the ground in the orange corner. Unthink, who do you got?
Yeah, honestly, Method plays really well under pressure. Triple Trouble, I can see them going either way on this one right now. It's going to be a really, really close overtime, but I don't see this one going very long.
Hard pass into the center. Chacaron actually double whiff. Could be a free one for Triple Trouble. Tadpole again. A limp shot. Tough break for him. And again, you got to finish that. We touched on it. If you're given the chance, a team makes a mistake, you cannot afford to miss the capitalization.
Especially when we're talking about overtime situations like this. Golden goal matters. This is looking real good. And right now, Method has had a lot more control in this overtime.
Here comes Rix Ronde into the Triple Trouble corner. Tadpole to clear, met by Chacaron on the sidewall. Burrito B is up really early, and that was a missed clear and a big chance for Method, but perhaps expecting to make a block rather than have to make a shot. That is a soft clear into the midfield line for Rix Ronde. Lost one towards the back wall and almost off the defense and into his own net. Thankfully, Triple Trouble will hang on here, but they need a clear.
Right now, Method is trying to bait the defense out so they can get a bigger gap on goal. They're not falling for it. And right now, Triple Trouble is holding close.
Ricks has a lot to pick from and misses the block.
That was very nice and close again. They're taking the opportunities when they count, and they're not being too risky, which is going to be important in this scenario because they can't overextend just yet.
This is Ranaki missing the pass over to the right side. Either way, Andom was too far. But now Triple Trouble has a chance. They have to let this ball come down, pass into the middle, and slapped into the blue corner. And off the back wall is somebody there to finish the job. It will be just Chacaron to Rix Ronde, and now it's Method on offense. Cleared off the back wall, Chacaron, pass across, well read by Tadpole. A booming clear down into the blue side. And again, a stellar challenge from Rix Ronde. Should be an easy clear for Burrito B. That's actually a little bit more dangerous than Triple Trouble would like. Forced to make a tough save above the net. And now it's going to roll right in front, and it will be pushed downfield onto the sidewall. It's out of reach of Tadpole. The 1-2 from Ranaki will be stopped immediately. There's the follow through. Triple Trouble get it done. A quick drive down to the other end of the field, and Andom puts them through.
One short clear makes one big mistake here, and Triple Trouble takes advantage as quickly as possible. Andom smells it coming and knows if I get this right before the 18, I've got a great opportunity of getting this through.
And perhaps Method caught a little bit off guard, thinking, all right, we got this quick drive down over onto the orange side of the field. Maybe we can make something happen. You get a little bit too antsy, you push a little bit too far forward. And again, it's just that split-second timing as you're rotating back in the net. You can't make that strong clear coming out of the net because you don't have momentum.
You know, I got to tell you, there's a lot of momentum coming in when you talk about coming into an overtime situation where you were so close. I thought Method had a lot more chances coming into the early 30 seconds. But after they gave that up, Triple Trouble had a lot of opportunities to play through. There's a lot to say about that, but I got to tell you, momentum is definitely a resource that they took to their advantage.
I definitely agree with that. So, Triple Trouble, 13 shots here in this game number 2. That is a lot more than they had in game number 1, and more importantly, they forced Method to make a lot of saves. 5, 8, 9. I did my caster math properly.
They did 9 out of 10, actually, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big upgrade because, one, you're putting shots on net. You're forcing Method to make those solid clears out into safety. If you make a mistake, they will punish it. Of course, Tadpole could have ended this game in regulation, but it doesn't matter. They got the win in game number 2. So I really like what Triple Trouble was able to accomplish in here. They were kind of shut down a little bit in game number 1, bounced back in game number 2, able to bring more of that offensive pressure that I wanted them to continue on from their first series.
Both teams playing extremely offensive. Yeah. 13 shots and 10 shots, absolutely unbelievable.
So a good start for both of these teams. Method dropping a little bit of a heartbreaker in game 2, but it's still early. But this game number 3, Unthink, it's a big swing game in the series. It's only a best of 5. This is the one that gives you a big edge should you come out on top.
We always talk about the first goal being the most important one. I think it definitely applies in a game this tight.
We'll see if anyone can come up with one early on, as the first couple of opportunities going to belong to Method. But a nice clear from Tadpole. Andom has to really go and get this one, take it away from Chacaron, and this one upfield off the nose and just met by Ranaki. He was heading back very early, well aware of the danger of a quick push from Method. And it will be Method able to hang on to the ball out of the midfield. Nice touch from Tadpole, and Rix Ronde over the top. Can he get a second challenge? It will be cut to the right-hand side and pushed down into this blue corner. Burrito B trying to get a strong clear. Ranaki is able to read this one as Chacaron pass upfield again to Burrito B. Burrito B has been pushing up that left side of the pitch a lot of the time for Method. He's saying, hey, I'm there, just hit me. And every time they've given it to him, he's missed it.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of
oh, what a 1-2 touch from the right-hand side of the box up to the top and into the net.
This was Burrito's expectation to get it out and have a player there to work with it, and instead he gets an opponent, and Ranaki right there at the top of the box. That 1-2 finish is exactly where you want to be able to play that, and you've got a good teammate playing parallel to you when you're going in for the challenge.
So Triple Trouble able to start off well here in game number 3. Now they will hold the stick, so to say. As Rix Ronde, almost called Rix Ronde Ranaki.
A lot of R's.
There's a lot of R's and a lot of on stuff. Thank you. And he does it himself. Who cares? Rix Ronde goes through Ranaki and gets it into the left-hand side.
A lot of R's and a lot of goals, but Rix Ronde followed this through. The secret of being able to play that in is being kind of the junk man in that situation. You want to take the stray ball away from the defender as quickly as possible, because then they can make a second mistake that you can take advantage of.
Precisely the case. And that will be Chacaron to start off things for Method here post-kickoff. Back wall, actually got it, but a nice read from Andom already up there trying to defend that back wall. Again, big option to try and take away from any offensive team. Very tough to read a lot of plays coming off the back wall, so defending it very important. Quickly in front of the box, and nobody's home for Method. Ronicky gets a free one.
This is a bit of a mistake on overextension when we talk about the play coming forward. He expected to get the challenge directly off the top of Tadpole, and when that didn't happen, Rix can't get back in time to close this out.
So a tough break for Method again. Perhaps caught a little bit too early on the rotation back. Some quick clears coming from Triple Trouble down the length of the pitch very, very fast, and they just don't have time to get all the way back. As it will be Tadpole again into the Method corner. Rix in a very tough spot. Gets it over the top of one, able to keep things close and force Triple Trouble to come try and take this ball away from him. And two players committing there, they have to back off, give a lot of ground to Method. Unfortunately, they're not able to get this ball quickly out of their own half. Chacaron just up so early out of his own net, pre-jumping like mad. Wasn't even close, and so it's a very tough angle for Triple Trouble to try and shoot that one. They didn't get it, but it was a good chance for them.
Now, Method's got discipline when we're talking about these defensive rotations right now. Chacaron made a risky play, and it paid off for him, but they've got to be able to stay close to the goal and be able to play that out as quickly as possible to the wing.
So approaching halftime here. Method needing to get something. And that is a free ball out to Chacaron at about the midfield line. Took a long shot, and it was defended by Andem. Is now into the midfield. Here comes Chacaron again. Tapped forward and stolen away by Ronicky. Here's Tadpole towards the corner. They almost got a pinch. Top of the box now, and it will be Rix Rondé on the dribble. He's through one. He had a heck of a job on a dribble last game. Cuts one to the top of the box, feeds it to Chacaron, and unfortunately punched off the wall.
He actually teed that up for Chacaron, put it directly in front of him, but the angle came 1 second too early. Great play, great idea. Chacaron's getting a lot more aggressive on the offensive side of the field.
I will agree, just trying to muscle one through onto the right-hand side. This one was going to be aimed at the back post, but a little bit too far behind the ball. As Tadpole into the Method corner one more time, taken away by Rix Rondé. Top of the blue box, and there's Tadpole, and Chacaron, one heck of a save. Just had to dive one way to the other and hope he made contact and got it into safety.
He got mere pixels of hitbox on that one.
Pixels
made it count.
So here's the final 90 now. Method needing to get something on offense. Chacaron, a great touch from the corner. Double commit on defense for Triple Trouble, but Method, a lot of ground given in the midfield. Want to make sure they get a solid touch on the ball. Lets one float through on the defender. A good fake. Can they transfer that into a sound chance here? But it looks like they've been able to consolidate on defense. They all get back. They've got plenty of boost, and Triple Trouble just not letting anything through this wall right now.
They're not going to allow one of those conventional passes from the wing to work. Infield passes may be a better option for opening up something on the defense.
Take it away from the defense, exactly. Tadpole to delay. Burrito B. Free ball into the midfield. Loose ball. Ronicky comes up with it pretty much uncontested. Does he have a pass? And again, well met from Tadpole. There's a solid pass to the top of the box. Tough break, though. Chacaron facing the wrong way. Cannot square that one up for a good shot. Tadpole again threatening. Tapped over his head. Ronicky up nice and early towards the top right-hand side. Chacaron to clear. And again, pass to the top. He's right there. Can they put this one away? Back wall for Tadpole, and under the defense. It's 3-1. Triple Trouble looking to take game 3.
When you're only up by 1, it is risky to put all 3 in, but this was the right move because the second Tadpole sees it coming through. He goes, I can get a chance to get it under the defender, and that's something that they're not going to expect, especially when they plan to pre-jump the ball on that.
And now, if you're Method, you're sitting here thinking, this is not good. This is not good at all, and perhaps they can get one back on the kickoff, but Ronicky's already there to lock it down. You've only got 20 seconds to work with. You need a lot of offense to try and get 2 goals in Rocket League. And I just don't think they have the time here, as game number 3 will wind down to its conclusion. The final 10, some lax pressure coming out of the midfield, wasting time off this clock, and it will be Triple Trouble cruising into a win with game number 3. Couple of tough chances for Method there, but again, the defense from Triple Trouble was so good in this game.
They really, especially in the last 2 minutes of this match, they really pulled it together and made it count. They kept a very close game, though. I don't think Method let them sit back and go, we'll be fine for even a second.
We'll be fine.
The pressure was definitely something that they brought to the field today. And, you know, Chacaron had a couple chances in front of the goal. I thought that they'd be a little bit closer, but sometimes the pass comes too early and your hitbox isn't necessarily prepared for the shot.
And overall, again, I really like the defense from Triple Trouble because they covered a lot of angles that Method had. It seemed like just about the only really strong chance that Method had, I felt like. You said perhaps they need to try some infield passes, get them away from that defense that's hovering on the line. And they tried that. They really did. It was just the one time they tried it, they weren't set up for it. They said, look, we know we need to make something happen, and you're trying to rush a play on offense perhaps, and unfortunately you just can't get anything going. So Method moving into this game number 4, you've got to win 2 games in a row now. I mean, do you think the offense was good enough for Method, or do they have to change more? Because you already said the infield passes. Okay, do you stick with that moving into game 4, or do you take a different approach?
Passing's big. There's a couple different approaches you could take. One, the challenges look like they didn't have anything playing off of it that was going to work for them.
Okay.
So when they get the first initial challenges, you can try to air roll into those to roll them in the direction of your teammates so that if you do win the advantage on it, you can actually get the pass over to them. That could be useful because what would end up happening is they'd win the challenge on defense, but they would get the clear that wasn't going to a teammate. It would just go out to the wing. That was a bit of a dangerous style that they really weren't getting a lot of anything out of. A little bit of that, really being able to transition properly. I think that there was a lot of really good pressure from Triple Trouble.
Yeah, for sure. Or perhaps do you think Method take a little bit more of that game 1 approach? Because we saw that a lot in that game 1. That was only a 1-0 game for these guys. There wasn't exactly a whole bunch of chances for both teams, but Triple Trouble, when Method was sitting back on their own half, they only generated 2 shots in that first game. So perhaps they revert to that game 1 strategy, lock down on defense, secure your own boost, maybe go and steal one in the midfield every now and again. But overall, Method was content to let Triple Trouble come at them in game 1. And do you think maybe they tried that again here in game 4?
Playing a reactive style might work, but when we're talking about 2 highly offensive teams, I think that you need to start playing where it matters most, and that's getting more shots on goal. They were a lot more efficient that way, and I think that they can make it count.
Well, we'll see if they can make something happen here in game 4. 10 minutes of solid play at least will be required for Method to come out on top here versus Triple Trouble. And currently, it is again Method starting off with a couple of chances. Floater in front of the net, a big double commit. It's only one man to finish the job, but it doesn't matter. Burrito B gets it done.
You catch hang time like that, and it is time to strike when you're on offense. Defense is a little confused here. Tadpole doesn't get the pinch off the wall that he wants to push it out, and instead gets it right back into the danger zone.
And that's a perfect start if you're Method as well, because you're saying, look, we need to win a game. You start off in 15 seconds, and you get a goal, and you're like, sweet, let's keep it going.
Good momentum.
Good momentum. Is this one over to the right-hand side. Rix Ronde gets through 1, and over the top of 2, perhaps Method gets another free ball. Chacaron into the net.
That is the Chacaron we have been waiting for. Looks so good. The pass is right. They confuse the defense. If you can get 2 in the first 30 seconds based on small defensive mistakes that Triple Trouble is making, that's good. Method's got to be feeling confident coming in with a 2-0 right now.
Very, very confident. This is your dream start to a game of Rocket League. Of course, you'd like it to be game 5, but you know, you take what you can get. This one to the top of the box, and they wanted one heck of a shot. Rix Ronde went for the bicycle shot. Just punted across the pitch into the right-hand corner of Triple Trouble. Top of the box, and it's a free ball now for the Orange crew. Trying to sit on one is Ronicky, followed through by Tadpole. He doesn't have a lot of options to pass the ball. Andam's too far behind him, and Ronicky was running away for boost. Thankfully, they're able to kind of hang on to this ball, but Method trying to find a clear, and that's a big block from Chacaron. Rix Ronde trying to follow through now. Gives a little bit of ground. The nice pass to the top of the box, and that's going to float through everybody for a second, and the touch into the corner is going to favor Method. As Triple Trouble gain a little bit of ground back here in the midfield, passing to the front of the box, easily met by Rix Ronde. Burrito B looking for a clear. He's got to get through 1. Slides it around 1 defender. It's Tadpole waiting so patiently in midfield, looking for a pass off the back wall. It's high, and again, a great read from Chacaron back there. And that is going to be Andam firing a shot right at Burrito B. They're looking for Chacaron on the side wall. Not able to get that pass into the midfield. A big miss clear, going to throw off Triple Trouble for a second on defense. Are able to rally, though. Try and get this ball out of their own half. Nice clear into space from Andam there. Give him a chance to breathe.
I think both teams at this point are struggling to feed their offenders. The third man's trying to get those plays up. We're watching Tadpole come in and trying to get something to execute directly off the backboard right now. And in the same space, we've got Chacaron as the third man in waiting to come in and give something up. But it's been tough because immediately playing those, you get pressured and pushed right back into your side, and the rotation has to completely reset.
And again, Method very thankful for those 2 early goals, and currently Triple Trouble struggling to kind of get some strong offensive chances going. It will steal away that boost, though, and that might be just it. A good infield pass, but he's out of reach of Andam, and now he's sole person in charge of defense as Now his team comes to the rescue. A little bit of a double commit, some communication mishaps there for a second. It's not going to matter too much, though, as Triple Trouble throw another one off the back wall, and that certainly hasn't worked. And Chacaron has been a monster off of these walls here in this game 4. You've not got anything through there, but that one just skids across the center, and Ronicky blasts one into the top right.
He only needs one touch, and it's a very important one at that. The pass comes through that infield play, and the defense is confused. Ricks is literally like, hands up. Not going to happen.
Nice shot, man. You can have that.
It was a good, very good shot.
That's when you just get crossed up, because, you know, Ronicky's off screen for Rick's Ronde. He doesn't exactly know he's over there. So he's waiting for his camera to pan over, and then it's like, oh, well, okay. Well played, Triple Trouble. And see if Triple Trouble can build off that. Just under the final 2 minutes here in Game 4. They'd love to take down Method in a 4-game series. Jorby and I talked about it a little bit earlier on. Game 5 is a coin flip, I think. Nobody ever wants to go to Game 5. And that might do it. Burrito B pushes one over to the left-hand side of the net, courtesy of Rick's Ronde.
Andom expected this to come through and get a second touch, but when he's challenged immediately by Ricks, there's no shot. No shot at all, and it's just an absolutely incredible play. Burrito knows when to make the turn to play it out wide instead of playing it in line with the defender.
And what a shot to get that all the way over into the left post, too. I mean, you got to slightly delay the flip. You got to take into account where the defense is. Heck of a shot from Burrito B. Chacaron tries to get another one, and again, Rick's Ronde. Actually, wait, that was Burrito B going for the demo. Rick's Ronde gives him the pass.
You know what?
No, it was Rick's.
If you were wondering if Method was going to make big strides here in this game, I think that question is out the window at this point.
Exactly. This is a fantastic game number 4 for them. Rick's Ronde is doing a lot of good work. He's got 4 assists and a couple of demos to seal the deal, too. So he's getting things done, and he finds the back of the net here off the kickoff, and out of nowhere, Game 4 is blown open.
It's a little bit of a runaway train here at this point, and right off the face-off, you don't want to have to wait for those. And plus, Andom's playing back before he comes through, doesn't have time to challenge the shot.
Tough break here for Triple Trouble. You're sitting here like, yes, we'll put them down in 4 games, and you keep it tight. They get those first 2 goals. You get one back about halfway through, and in the span of 15 seconds, you're down by 4. It's a crushing game number 4 if you're Triple Trouble. And you got to figure something out going into Game 5. And I think if you're Triple Trouble, you're saying, all right, we're going to take the full 60 seconds here. We need some time to gather our thoughts.
The mental reset is going to be important coming into this. We don't talk about the mental game as often as we should, but it really is something that coming into Game 5, if you're going to get blown away right now in a 4+ game, you've got to go, all right, how do we readjust? How do we come back into this? Is it our rotations? Is it passes? Where are we getting beat? That's something for that in-game leader to come up and start speaking to the team about.
So let's think a little bit about what happened here for those first 3 goals. And there's another chance. And back wall number 3 is not going to be able to get it. Chacaron tried to force it all the way through. But let's talk about a little bit when this game got out of hand. Burrito B, Shaq, and Rex all able to score a free one in that 15-second span where they just blew the game open. One was a kickoff goal. One of them was a really solid shot from Burrito B over to the left-hand post. That's just mechanical brilliance. Well done there. The Rick's goal was the pass play, and Chacaron, trying to remember what Shaq's goal was, that was the demo from Rick's Ronde. So it's like, it's not even another one. Rick's Ronde feeds Burrito B with a solid pass off the back wall. It's not like Triple Trouble's doing anything bad. Method's beating them off of their own nice play.
No, they're creating space right here when we're talking about getting into that lower third of the field, into the 18. They're just creating space with the defenders who aren't ready for this play, and they're making really quick, concise touches.
Exactly.
That one touch coming in at a high speed is far more difficult to stop than something maybe coming in from a dribble or a flick.
So the final 10 seconds, going to take down, mercifully, if you're a Triple Trouble, and they will get one back. They will avoid South America, thankfully, if they could even get there, but Ronicky was able to find the back of the net here with 6 to go.
That's good. Passports are hard to get sometimes. 6-2. It's holding real good. I got to say, you know, we're coming into a situation where they have to completely say, all right, where are we going to go from here? Game 5, it's big, and it's going to be important for them to come into the early game than waiting out and trying to play Method on the long con, because at the end of the day, Method can play that pressure situation if they get up by 1, and they don't want to deal with the same game they played in Game 1.
Exactly. So this ball still somehow has not found its way to the ground. Thankfully for Burrito B will let that happen. Game number 6 comes to a conclusion that was much needed for Triple Trouble. We think they need to make a couple of changes. So, if you're Method, you're sitting here thinking, that was an awesome game. Let's do that again, because if you're going to win 6-2, you also feel really good about the way you won 6-2. It's not like Triple Trouble was making mistakes. You earned that 6-2 victory.
You know, coming off of the face-offs, that was a big play for them. I think that kickoff momentum really gets them going. And again, they talked about they built the space. They played their game. And this was their game to win by far. The second that they got that burrito goal in, I really felt like that was the ender for them. Yeah, it was an unbelievable shot. And as a team, you go, wow, okay.
All right, fair enough.
That's a tough one to deal with. But if you can come back through, positivity is going to be big. But also talking about coming off of the kickoffs and being able to play efficiently to your pressure game, we only saw 4 shots coming in from Triple Trouble.
And Andom also kept very quiet in this game number 4.
Bit surprising.
Only able to generate 90 score in 2 shots. Other than that, I mean, he was kind of absentee there. So I guess you got to get the bat attack going. Bring that back. You're gonna let me roll with that? I appreciate that.
Yep, I'm gonna let it go.
So here comes game 5. Triple Trouble needing to activate all 3 members, as we talked a little bit about it in rehearsal. It's important to have all 3 players on the pitch, I think.
I believe 3v3 is the best way to play it.
So here's game 5. Method, an all-star showing in game 4, and Triple Trouble gonna have to find an answer here. This one going to be floating in to the orange corner as Burrito B now to the side, and that one's off the ceiling by Chacaron, and Method just going to give the ball up almost. Rix Ronde makes a quick turnaround to try and continue the play as it's to the top of the box. Chacaron tries to pick a spot, and that was great proactive defense from Tadpole, knowing he could close that gap.
He's certainly doing a great job being right back into the game. They've picked up the speed. Something about their pace looks good already coming into this matchup.
Definitely a solid start here. Triple Trouble trying to reach there for a goal opportunity, but that's a big demo. It's going to blunt the attack there of Method and force them to run back and play a little bit of defense. Rix has to make a solid stop. This one's off the back wall. Burrito liked the idea that he took his time with that one, read the play, didn't try and rush anything and maybe throw it into the bad spot, decided to say, what can I do with this ball, and he made a solid touch. You
know, patience is really going to help them when they're talking about defense. Something that they struggled with in the earlier games was quickly clearing but without intent. And now that they've got just that extra half second to think through the play, that's going to be important.
Ooh, they kind of give the ball up there. Andom, I think, was thinking about going up for that challenge on the back wall, and now Method gets a free possession over on the orange half. They want to bump in the net. Rix just missed it. And Chacaron going to be in charge of keeping the pressure on. That's a weak clear to the top of the box. A lot to pick from. Rix slides it in behind him, and Method on the board first in game 5.
You know, defense gets stuck on the line in this scenario. Andom got stuck a little bit on the wall for the initial play, and he gets a short touch as a result. And Rix is there to pick it up. And when you get it right there at the top of the box, you've got an extremely wide angle when you're talking about a 1v1 against a defender.
Rix scoring 6 goals so far in the series versus Triple Trouble. Said he was going to come out here, do a bang-up job of shooting the ball, and he has done just that. Plenty of assists as well. The man has been all over the field on offense for this Method crew, as this one's around the back wall. Chacaron has a chance to find one, and Tadpole again. Tough stop to make, but he got there. So approaching 3 minutes here in game 5. For Triple Trouble, you need an answer soon, and you found one. Ronicky finds Tadpole, and he just slams it into the top left.
This is almost the perfect Tadpole play. We saw him do it earlier. He goes in, gets it just above the defenders, and then he plays down. And when he pushes the ball down, it forces the defenders who went up for the initial challenge against the crossbar to miss the ball completely.
Love that quick answer from Triple Trouble as well. That game 4 got out of hand when Method got 2 goals in the first 30 or so seconds, and they just couldn't come back. A huge answer, I think, for Triple Trouble here in game 5. See if they can continue the attack now, as that is rolled along the ceiling for Andom, and pass to the top of the box. He's stretching. Ronicky just trying to keep the play going, but they know they have to give ground. He missed the boost in the midfield as well, and that will let Method smoothly transition. Tapped over 1. Can he get it around 2? And again, Rix Ronde is just getting by defenders one way or the other. All day, so good for Method. And if you're looking for a guy to step up big here in game 5, it'll be him for me personally. And that's a nice bump from Chacaron. Can he finish the job? He just has to get the pass off. Unfortunately, pinches it across the net. Tough break.
No, I don't think it's done yet. He kept the pressure on that was important, but he was expecting to get there about a second earlier to make that one important for them. Tadpole, again, has been playing a good rotation. He comes in, he waits for the third, and then he goes in for the strike. Not so much along the line. I like it better when he plays into the center because he gets more backboard opportunity.
Burrito B, back wall, and up to Ronicky, coming off of the back wall himself as well. Another solid passing play from Method. Just go and get him.
Looking like a real good infield pass to make that one count, and the defense is completely stopped here, both inside the goal and no recovery there.
Camera angle's playing havoc with my mind. I thought Ricks jumped off the sidewalk. He just jumped from the top of the box, man. He made it even easier than it had to be. And you know when you're a professional, you make hard things look easy. So thank you, Ricks. So the final minute 45 ticking down here. Triple Trouble needing, again, another quick answer. I think about now's the time, as that's a great clear off the wall, and hello, Andom, go and get it with the bounce out of the corner. It's tied up again.
That is the response you want. Again, we talked about it. If they want to come into this game and they want to keep up the pace, they've got to make sure that when one goes through, they've got to answer as quickly as possible. Andom is not waiting around, and again, he is awoken.
Awoken.
You like that?
He is woke. So coming up on the final 90, Triple Trouble battling in Game 5. Method have been passing the ball easy peasy, making star plays. Can they find another one to take down this Triple Trouble crew, or can they take it? Force one to miss in the corner, and Burrito B an easy clear. Not able to get through Tadpole though. Pass around, and again met by Shakaron. He's been such a rock on defense, off the walls, off the side. It doesn't really matter. Shakaron has had to make a couple of big stops, and he stepped up big on the defensive side of things. As that one is over the top, and thankfully not straight down. Rix Ronde still tries to go get it. Solid read from Andom, as Shakaron again keeping the pressure up for Method. You saw what looked like it could have been a real big mistake, but good communication from Triple Trouble to get that ball out and cleared. Pressure's not done yet. Quick break over onto the blue side for Triple Trouble. Can they hang on to this ball, though, and it's taken away from the side as Burrito B on a dribble tries to cut one down. They've left the net open, and that is going to be off the mark. Tough for Andom. He is going to be demoed on the way out as well. Rix Ronde steals away that midfield boost as well, and Triple Trouble trying to keep this attack going with 30 seconds, and Shakaron again not letting them have any of it. Method's getting close. They want to get more midfield control than they've had. They're a little bit bunched up at the moment. That's going to be chaotic for them, and Triple Trouble can take advantage if they see any kind of overextension. Shot on net. Rix Ronde, that is patience to a T. He thought about going for that initial challenge coming off of that Triple Trouble back wall, went back to net, made a solid touch, and now it's going to be off the back wall. Burrito B has a free one to the right side, blasts it high. There's Shakaron to put it home, and it's off the wall. They can't get it done. A big missed opportunity for Method to close it out, and now you got to fight through OT. Another overtime? Does it surprise you even slightly? These teams are so close right now. And launched off the back wall. Andom, a solid stop. Can he continue it? This one's going to be off the back wall. Ranaki has to go and get this one. Quickly out of the midfield is Shakaron. He's been so fast, keeping a lot of pressure on. There's a missed clear, and they do not get the ball into the net. Andom is going to be able to have to make a couple of tough stops. He gets them both. Huge step up on defense for the Batmobile. It was a non-selfish play, I'll put it that way, to get the pass back across instead of going for the initial touch, and Andom actually read that. And I can't believe that's some game intelligence right there. That is some game intelligence, some game sense. Game IQ. This one towards the net. Shakaron easy save. Feeds Burrito B and blasted into the Triple Trouble corner. Cut down into the midfield. Shakaron wants the left side, and that will be pushed aside by Tadpole. Ranaki into the blue corner. Burrito B to Rix Ronde. Shakaron's got to go get this one. He's in a race, and he will come up short as Tadpole puts one towards the blue net, and again, just dribbled out by Burrito B. Over the top of one, big miss clear. Bit of a scramble here for Triple Trouble. Thankfully, they had a contingency plan in order. As Shakaron's back wall. Burrito B wants the right side, just missed it. Rick's not quite ready to have to take a shot. And Triple Trouble again, dodge another bullet. Great setup by Shakaron. The pressure's on still for the defense here. They've got to make this clear successful. Nice demo. It's open. No one's home. That's dangerous. And again, back in through, Method haven't given up this play yet. They came in on a quick rotation, grabbed the boost, and they're already right back at forcing the defense to potentially make a mistake here. Rix is up over and over, and I don't think they're going to give anything away at this point. Absolutely, and now Triple Trouble still struggling to get a hold on this ball. They get it clear, but can they hang on to it's the big question. Shakaron to follow through. He's got Andom beat, but he's out of boost. Tough break. And now Method will have to try and get this one through. A big missed clear out of the midfield, and that means Triple Trouble is going to have to race back. Right through Burrito B in the midfield. Shakaron feeds it right over to Ranaki. The net's open, and one missed clear is going to cost Method the game and the series. Andom puts him down. This was
a close play. Shaq gets it out and just not enough to hold possession. And the second he does that, Andom takes full advantage of that pass coming through. What a deadly play. Looking good. Triple trouble. Hello.
Wow.
Wow.